Alright, good morning. It's April 20th, 2016. Been about 10 days since my last update. I've been trying to do these videos about every 10 days. This makes it easier to remember. I think it also spaces it out enough to where you actually see some growth on the plants. So we're going to start off on my good old pecan tree. But if you've been following, you've been seeing how huge this thing has gotten. If you're looking at it now, you can see it's gotten so big it's starting to tip over. So I think this is the sign that I need to move it to a planter. Move it outside. Thing is I know it's going to go into some shock, because it's going to go from a nutrient-rich environment to plain old soil, and it's probably going to lose a bunch of leaves. I've seen it do it before, but short of I don't know, maybe sticking a piece of wood or something to hold it up. But I think I'm still just putting off the inevitable, because it's just gotten too big. So I may put together a separate short little video on moving the tree. We'll see. See if I get enough gumption to want to move it out, because I really don't want to see it wilt, and I definitely don't want the thing to die. But I've got to do something, and I'm running out of time. Well, anyways, moving on. These guys would probably be helped. I mean, they're growing very well. If you saw the last video, these are my asparagus plants. They've gotten a lot longer. A lot of new growth. I'm not sure if this is, nothing edible yet. Well, not really. I guess these can be eaten, but nothing that I would want to kill the plants to eat for yet. But I think they'll probably do better if I take the tree out. Here's the second grow bed. And you see, once again, the asparagus. They're doing really well. They really love this environment. I mean, these were nothing when I first put in. I got some new growth coming from the strawberries, and that didn't seem to happen until I took the berries that were ready. I have to cut this thing off here and take this leaf off, kind of help them along. Probably take at least one of those. Looks like I got a couple of little tiny berries in there ready to go, because I like to see these things take off. Maybe get more than just 2 plants out of it. We'll see, but they're healthy. They're doing well. Well, this here, look at the jalapeno plant. This guy's doing really well. Surprised it hasn't, I mean, it's gotten a lot of new leaves. It's gotten, it's about 3 times taller than it was. And this grew from seeds. And it stayed small all winter, but it's just sprouting up. But no flowers yet. So that's kind of weird. Usually these LED grow lights kind of stimulate the plants to flower. But still nothing yet on the jalapeno. But I mean, it's looking healthy. Nice dark green. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, these guys aren't doing very well. what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm probably going to transplant them all to the soil, as you'll see, because there's just no denying it. Carrots just do much better in the soil. Maybe because it's a root plant. Maybe because they get nice full sun all day. I'm not sure, but I'll show you shortly what I mean when I show you the plants outside. Particularly ones that I have transplanted from my aquaponic system into soil. Not sure if you can see, gotta add some water. You see the big catfish in there. I got 4 of them. Yeah, I still haven't decided to eat any of them yet. They're always splashing around. They kind of got used to when I come out here. They know there's going to be some food pretty soon. I just haven't gotten around to eating any of them yet. Moving on. These here are the, it's a little container that I had. It's full of nothing but worm castings. And these are the radish plants. It looks like I have 2 or 3 of them. And this is the last one. I've been waiting because they've definitely flowered. And I'm hoping to collect seeds for these. Still no seed pods yet. Not sure if these are them or not. Actually, never seen the. See, these flowers are already come and gone. So I've never actually seen the seed pods for radishes. So, not sure. These are those icicle radishes. So continue keeping an eye on those, but they've got to be ready to let loose soon, because a lot of the leaves are, the plant's on its last legs. It's done its job. There may be a seed pod right there. But I am trying some other things out. These are some tomato plants, probably Roma tomatoes. This is what I eat the most often. And I've let this one get big, and I'm letting this one and this one grow. Hopefully, so I'll get some plants that I can move outside and grow some more tomatoes with. One of the few plants that I haven't had to get seeds for years now, because they just keep popping up every season. Not sure what this is. I did plant some spinach in here. It doesn't quite look like the spinach outside. That's something popping up here and something popping up there. So we'll let them go a little while longer and then figure out what they are. But this has been my ongoing experiment with the worm castings. I did get a couple of suggestions that instead of using the 100% worm castings, it would have been better to mix it into some other soil. But we'll see. I mean, definitely the plants are happy. They're all nice and dark green and all growing really well. So let's move on outside. Alright, I usually miss these guys here. This is my little upside down garden container. My trustworthy pal for growing things. As you can see, I have lots of spinach growing on the top, which is really nice. I like eating a lot of spinach. So, I won't let these get, pretty much as soon as one gets big enough to be eaten, it'll get pulled out and be a nice little salad. And here's my cayenne pepper plants, full of, they're small, but they got a lot of little flowers on them. And so should be seeing peppers pretty soon. And upside down, I got a couple beef steak tomato plants. These are store-bought, and they were cheap, so decided to have these growing on the underside. As usual, they got into a little bit of shock, and then the winds took out some of the leaves, but they're coming back strong. They turn around and, you know, showing their leafy greens to the sun now. And I got some flowers on them, which is great. And this here is a planter I built a couple years back. And this year I decided to, these are all the transplanted carrots from my aquaponics. All of these are transplanted. I mean, look at that. There's something else, huh? Now these are coming upon about 2 months, so I may start picking these in the next couple weeks or so. I'll get one of the bigger plants and see what it looks like. Like maybe this guy here. It's gotten huge. Definitely more spaced out. They got a lot more room to grow, and so I probably won't need to pull but one or maybe two at a time to make a nice little meal. I like to steam them and then add some butter. Amongst these is the cilantro plant. They're already ready to be picked, and add that to some salsa or some rice. Really good. And that grew wild from last year's seeds, as did this leaf lettuce. You know, once that gets big enough, that's a nice little salad there. I had some onions growing on the side of the house from bulbs from last year. So these actually were from last season. I didn't end up picking any, but I decided to move them over here, and they're doing happy. You know, great thing about onions is they'll shoot up towards the sky. They don't mind shady spots, and I anticipate those getting really big really quick. There's another look at that. Probably first one I plan on picking. Getting a nice big. It's all one plant right there. So that should be a nice big carrot. So looking forward to that. There's another cilantro right there. And another one under here. They should start poking their heads out towards the sun soon. Really happy with this nice green patch. And as you can see, there's no comparing. These transplanted, once I got transplanted to the soil, if you've been following the video, I mean, they went to shock and this whole container looked just barren. And but these are the same ones. They have come back strong. They just like the soil. Now, if you guys remember this container, I've been picking carrots out of here. I finally pulled them all, juiced the small ones, ate the big ones, and I've planted some more. Let's see, I've got some more carrots in here, as well as a potato, and I didn't go crazy this time. So last time I just kind of tossed all the seeds in there and just let them grow, and this time now I'm kind of separated them out, so hopefully they'll do much better, but they'll probably be poking their sprouts out here the next probably by the next time I put a video together. And it's my other container. Really like how things are coming along. Thinking about pulling this radish here. It's the biggest one. Main reason why is because there's a little baby radish underneath him, not getting enough sun. And This might be big enough to eat. Because look at the size of that. You can see that. They might be big enough. It's actually 3 plants, I think. 2 or 3 plants, 2 or 3 seeds. But I think that one's big enough to be pulled. I've never grown radishes before, so I wasn't sure. So I had to go online and see. And I was seeing somebody in, I think it was Kentucky. And yeah, their radish plants were huge. Much bigger than this. But you know, those were outside being grown in a field. So you know, they just warned, make sure you pull them before they bolt, because once you see the flowers, then the radish starts, they said the taste changes, and then the root starts to die. So I got some other things growing in here. I planted some spinach. These guys are doing real well. Also a couple more, or a few more onions from the side of the house. It's a weed. It's had a lot more weeds in it than I thought, but I've been pulling them. But they're doing pretty good. There's a couple little tomato plants. And thinking about pulling this. Look at the size of this carrot plant. This was another one of the transplants. I put them in with the jalapenos. And these are from last year's plants. I brought them in during the winter, and look at them there. They looked like sticks last time, and now they've all gotten lots of leaves growing on them. There's another big carrot. I think it needs to come out. And my other chili plants that got a couple flowers on that one. It's my raspberry bush. These are some more transplanted carrots, and they're coming back strong. You know, once they wilt, they went to shock. I usually cut off the wilty leaves, add them to my compost. But they're coming back. Little asparagus plant in there. See, the ones inside are just doing much better. I guess because they're getting so much more light. The sunlight, you know, about 12 hours, and then plus the 12 hours of LED grow light. And wow, this is a surprise. I'm surprised I didn't notice these. Look at these. It's my tomato plant. Got a couple little tomatoes there. A little bit bigger one right there. Oh, that's great. A lot of flowers. Oh, another tomato. A couple more right here. Wow, that is great. First time I noticed. So yeah, tomato plant's doing really well. There's another jalapeno. And it looks like I got a celery growing right here. Must be from last year's celery seeds. Poblano. It's got some flowers on it. Let's see, I think this is habanero right here. Got some flowers on it. So all the pepper plants are doing well. And here's my more of those icicle radishes. All these are planted at the same time, but it's just amazing how this row is so much bigger than these other 2 rows. A couple other little tomato plants. You never have too many tomatoes, so. And another one jalapeno. This one already has a couple little. It's crazy because these are jalapenos that have been on this plant all winter. 1, 2, since already been ready to be pulled. Probably just use those for the seeds. But I was so impressed with these. They were hot. And so I'm looking forward to some more peppers off of these. And then in here, I've got the asparagus. And look at this potato plant. It's already one plant here, another one there, so it's spreading out. So I'm looking forward to that. And just so you get a before, I made this little planter out of a bunch of spare wood that I had. And it's planted. But no, hopefully they're germinating. Let's see, but I've got some spinach in here, some squash, and let's see, eggplant, I believe. I put this together. I call it my little apple cart planter. It's just a bunch of spare wood that I had sitting around. It was just rotting, and I went ahead, and it's really deep, and I drilled a bunch of holes. It's not just for drainage, but for the roots, for the air pruning. It's another little experiment going on. And here's what I'm really looking forward to. It's my nectarine tree. I mean, look at all those. It's just tons of nectarines. And they're all getting nice and big. And the tree looks real healthy. And I'm going to have so many nectarines, it's going to be good. May even have enough to make jelly. Or some jam. Alright. Well, that's about it for all the plants. We'll pause here and I'll show you how the fish are doing.